One idea can change a world. One step can start a journey. But a prayer can change even the impossible. Prayer song. Thank you. I request Ms. S. Jeevashri, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, to offer welcome address.
Good morning, everyone present here. I'm thoroughly pleased to witness you all here in this two-day online faculty development program on enhancing social and psychological skills in teaching practice. It's my privilege to address you all on behalf of our management. I thank our Honorable Correspondent Sir, respected Principal Sir, and admired HOD Sir, who stand as great pillar and support to organize such an effective program. And I warmly welcome our chief guest, Dr. R. Kavitha, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, PST College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore, and faculty members from other institutions and our institution for our FDP program, who came here for delightful with presence. We all have gathered here today to attend this FDP based on social skills in different views of our chief guest. We as an institution aim to achieve great heights. This FDP will intends to give more thoughtful information about social skills. Closing the speech, and I welcome all you once again, and I hope everyone is well aware of the themes concerning FDP. We had a great time having you all. Looking forward to many more such FDPs, engaging more people and on a great level. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. I request our Principal Sir, Dr. N. Raman, to share few words. Sir, over to you. I request Mr. R. Nallappan, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, to welcome our chief guest. Sir, over to you.
Good morning to all. On behalf of the management, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Dr. R. Kavitha, who is working as an assistant professor in the most renowned institution. Good morning, ma'am. She is working towards connecting young minds to strive towards the success and the achievements. We are grateful to her for accepting our invitation and becoming a chief guest of today's event. Ma'am, it's your session, ma'am. Take over, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Nallappan. Thanks for the opportunity. I thank the management for providing a wonderful platform, for giving a wonderful topic also. Can I start, organizers?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Can I share the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, really, I have to thank Madam. We are just organizing an FDP that to enhancing the social and psychological skills in teaching. So normally I see the topics, but once Mr. Nallappan said, I was really happy because the topic was such a need of the hour. So once I've just received or came to know the topic itself, I was very happy, and then I've readily agreed. Is my PowerPoint is visible?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Once again. Sorry for the...
No, no problem.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
One second. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. So the topic itself, I've already said I was really happy to share my knowledge in this topic. So to move on with this topic, learning. So the topic itself clearly says that enhancing the social skills in teaching. So we would have learned about, we are very much familiar about the concept which is called as learning. So learning itself, we can say that it is such a wonderful and it is a continuous process. So which happens throughout our lifetime. So this learning plays a major role in refining one's individual personality, one's individual behavior, and so on. So you all will agree with me because this learning we would have studied in sociological concept as well as in psychological concept. This learning, actually I can say that learning is a part and parcel. It is carried throughout in our DNAs. So this learning happens from our birth till our life ends. So this learning, so it is a process, we can say it is a dynamic state. So which happens throughout our lifetime. So we learn many behaviors from observing others. Because first we would have been in a primary setting, which is called a family, where we learn the primary behaviors. Once we just move out of that primary setting, we'll just move on to the secondary setting, that is a school environment or a college or so on. So we'll find out the different behaviors. And we find that if it is right, and we automatically modify and we'll change our behaviors. So throughout our lifetime, we learn many behaviors from observing others. So learning is improved when the opportunities are increased. So when there is no opportunities, we cannot move on to the next level, which is called as learning, where the learning is improved when time on task is also increased. So learning is improved when feedback of the one's effort is provided in a timely manner. For example, once we get a recognition of our work, so we feel happy, okay, oh, this activity or this behavior, it is very good. We found it, oh, you did a wonderful job. So this learning will automatically increases one person if gets a timely feedback from a superior or from his family, from his peer group or whatever it may be. So this learning is improved when the feedback of ones. For example, I can say you would have applied for a project or for for conducting any seminar or for any other things. You would have applied for any government agencies. Once you have just received, within the time, if appraisal is done based on that, again which in turn motivates you as well as it motivates the others also. So learning is very much important, where it is clearly, it steadily increases, where the feedback is provided in a timely manner. And learning is improved when reinforcement is also provided. So this learning too, we can discuss about the learning throughout the thing, because since it is a continuous process, it is a dynamic process which occurs in all the stages of development of a human being. So moving on to the social skills. So we can, we would have many people, we would have things, soft skills, social skills, or interpersonal skills, and so on. There are different names are there. So what are social skills? We commonly call it as socially accepted learned behaviors. So social skills are socially acceptable learned behaviors. So which enables an individual to interact effectively with others and to avoid or escape negative social interaction with others. So this is a definition which was given by Grisham and Allott in 1990, where so socially accepted learned behaviors, which enables the individual to interact effectively with others, and to avoid the negative social interaction. So this is what is called as, he defined as social skills. But normally the social skills that we'll say that which promotes the effective communication with others. What are social skills? So social skills are the skills which promote the effective communication of others. So there are various social skills that we can say, as well as in a several different ways which we communicate on daily basis. So social skills, many of them we'll say that, which include the communication, cooperation, assertion, responsibility, empathy, and return skills, non-verbal. Social skills are very, very important and mandatory, where we need to apply when we are working in this academic environment. So to move on with why social skills are important for teachers. So I've already said that social skills, it is also referred as soft skills or interpersonal skills. It is very much important, right? Because it enables to foster and maintain a meaningful relationship with the management, with our fellow colleagues and the students. Most importantly, students, because we are handling the budding, the future of our country. So we can say each one is having a round of 50 students or 60 students. They are all of fresh minds. So we, the teachers, should possess, everyone, we are very, I can say that no one is of low social skills. But the thing is, we are not that much aware of it, how much it influences the students or how much it influences the colleagues. This, we are not that much aware of it. That is what I'm just not teaching any new topics or jargons over here. So this is a basic thing that I just want to say. So no matter where we work, or what is our experience level, our social skills are very, very beneficial, which elevate our professional career also. So, so I just want to say the many ways how the social skills can benefit our career. So we can say that a person who has a better social skills can work effectively as a team member in projects, and then sharing our own perspectives, how we are going to share our own perspectives in an effective manner, and how we can help to expand our professional network, and how to stay updated with the new opportunities, and making the workplace more enjoyable. That is most important, right? Because we are spending not half, 70% of the life only at the workplace. So that place to be a heaven, a beautiful place. We should think that, tomorrow when we should carve for when we need to go for an office, today is leave. So we should have that kind of intention. We have to make our workplace such a pleasant one, and it is an enjoyable one. And then getting a valuable feedbacks, that is most important. And referrals, that who can test your abilities or can assess your abilities. For example, this is done in every institutions or corporates as a performance appraisal and so on. So based on that, the performance will be assessed, and then monetary benefits are provided also. For example, in academic institutions, they'll appraise based on our net or a PhD, or how many papers we have published, or how we have represented, taken our college into the next level. So there are each institution management has its own way of objectives to assess the teachers or their employees' performance. And then enabling a successful communication with the employees, and then the colleagues, management, and the students. So this is very, very much important. So, and to be very frank, that I just say that, so if we aware of the social skills, it is very easy to understand our personality. And it is very much visible. It is, for example, if you're just going for going to meet your head, or just going to meet your principal or a correspondent, whomsoever it be, they're higher officials. So it is, our personality will be the first level. We can say that it is very much visible. They'll study by our body language, and they'll listen how we talk about ourselves, how we have, what kind of image that we have about ourselves, and then the language we use, and whether we are maintaining an eye contact. So it can be easily assessed. So this social skills play a very, very important role in our career development. So a few examples that I can say, already I've just presented over here the major characteristics of social skills: communication, cooperation, assertion, response. These are the few, but we can just list it out. It is a huge list. So where I just, as a teachers, I just want to say that the few social skills which is a very important for a teacher, we can say that is an observation, active listening, conflict resolution, empathy, cooperation, and relationship management. So this is very, very important. As a teacher, we should possess all these things. For example, observation plays a very, very major role. So there it is an ability to observe what is happening in the professional setting. So now it comes naturally to some, and it is closely associated with the people who are slightly introverted. So we would have seen two kinds of persons, right? Introvert and extrovert. So one who moves with others very easily, very sociable. So we commonly call them as extroverts. And introverts who won't be able to mingle so fast. So they have their own boundaries. For example, that for that person, we will say it as introverts. So anyone can develop this trait, this observation, paying attention what is going around, what is happening around them in both educational as well as the professional environments also, and detaching ourselves from the surrounding. So we'll think that, oh, how others are perceiving us, how others are seeing us, or what kind of image that they have. So we have to detach from that, where we have to observe others, and we have to behave in a given situation to understand the complex concepts, which is called as group dynamics. So group mentality. So we are not known about all these terminologies, but we are practicing it, and we are used to in everyday lives. So this is what is happening, where we don't know this is what the exact coin or exact terminology for this process. So this is what is happening. So we can say that so relationship between others and general understanding of their colleagues and their personality. So people will say, oh, he's a very good person, but this thing I cannot discuss with them. So understanding the differences and working together. So everything is a part and parcel of life, where we learn. Learning is a continuous process. As I said, it is a social process also. It is in our DNA. Learning itself, it is clearly traded in our DNA, where we are prone to it. Every day we correct ourselves. Every day we learn new things. So this is how we are accepting our learning process. So to say with, I can say the social skills, problem behaviors, and academic functioning are interrelated. It is not my statement. It is a proven statement through research, where social skills plays a major role, where it corrects the problem behaviors, and then it helps the smooth academic functioning. So academic performance and classroom behavior are highly interrelated. So I'll just say which study is this. So this I just want to say because earlier this webinar types and all, it is very new to us. Only after COVID we are just experiencing. Even we don't know how to balance ourselves. So earlier situation before COVID where we have somewhat we have given an equal time for a work or a self and a family. But now you just see, if you just think about it, most of the time we have to be in a family setting, and from there we have to work where a self becomes a zero. We don't have any time, even though in this situation. So we are just sitting in our own places, and then we are just experiencing this learning process. This is the webinar, this FDP. So this is where we have accepted the change. So we are managing, we have started learning to adapt the change. And now we are very much, we are capable to manage the change also. Whatever the change which is happening, we are capable to adapt this change management. So I've just said now the social skills. It is a major thing, that is a foundation for academic success. So this Cabrera and Barbara Nelly, so they found that the pro-social skills, which is social skills also, it is called as pro-social skills, where cooperating, helping, sharing, and consoling was a better predictor of an academic achievement. And we can see another research study also where Malaki and Elliott reported the similar findings for social skills, and in problem behaviors with social skills significantly predicts the achievements in the performance, both in the students as well as the teachers too. So, and this is a very famous concept that everyone knows about, the emotional intelligence, where it was popularized by Daniel Goleman. He's an American psychologist. Now so this emotional intelligence has 5 key factors. So in that 5 key factors, self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So this social skills is one of the key element for one's success. This is one of the key elements of an emotional intelligence also. So we'll commonly call it as intelligence quotient, social intelligence. Likewise, this social skills is also one of the predominant factor which influences the emotional intelligence of an individual. The person who is emotionally intelligent, he is a very successful person in life. So that is what the research study says, and that is what the emotional intelligence also says. The social skills, a key academic enablers. So you just see it was a research findings where it shows that this social skills, that is interpersonal skills in the figure, plays a key role in facilitating the student's achievement, directly influencing the motivation, and which in turn influences the engagement and study skills. See how this interpersonal skills influences the motivation, study skills, engagement, reading achievement. So all these things, so students who are socially skilled spend more time on task and more time helping in others. As a result, we can say the learning times also goes up. So the classroom behavior goes down and the achievement increases. This is what the study results says, that because since we have to educate our students, if this is what, it is easy to manage our students, and it is easy to make our students a successful human beings to live a better life. So this is what that we are just worrying about it. How we are going to empower students, how we are going to make our students to face this contemporary life, how to cope up with the issues or the depressions or whatever the social issues which is happening inside the society. So we have to make a most responsible and a successful one, where this social skills play a major and a predominant role in just sculpting our students. So this social, almost all the skills that we can say, that interaction skills, communication skills, team building skills, conflict resolution skills, survival skills, and then interpersonal skills, and then all the skills, for example, body language, observation, listening. So everything which we can group under this social skills. So among them, so for example, these are the examples we can say, that communication, cooperation, assertion, responsibility, empathy, engagement, and self-control. So communication makes in turn conversation. So we know what is communication, right? It is not merely language, a language transfer. It is a message. It has to be received by the receiver perfectly and accurately as it is sent by the sender. For example, language and all, it is just what I can say, it is a way we can say. But communication is transference of the correct message from sender to the receiver. So that should be, the communication should be perfect once the message reaches the receiver perfectly. So it takes conversation. For example, we would have know about this grapevine communication also. If communication is fails, then it leads to various issues. You know about, if I just say the grapes, when it comes to the second level, third level, it will reaches as a wine. The message will be entirely different. So that is what we call it as a grapevine communication, and where during this communication process also we need to make an eye contact while talking, and cooperation, following our directions, following the classroom rules, and then assertion, asking help from the seniors, or the question rules that may be unfair, and responsibility, empathy is the most important thing we'll just discuss in the forthcoming slides. And then engagement and self-control. These are all the few examples where, so this is, I've already said, I think so that these are the important social skills at the workplace, which I've just listed over it. Observation, active listening. Observation, I think I've already given enough emphasis on the observation. And then active listening. So it is an ability, it is not just mere listening. It is an ability to paying an attention to a person when they are communicating with us without interrupting or losing the focus. So some people will be saying, so few people will be there. They won't able to complete the sentence, for example. So the listening is a most important skill. If the listening is proper, communication is perfect. And then, so active listeners will be paying close attention to others while they speak, as well as they show respect also for what the other person is saying. So we also can improve the active listening skills by avoiding the distractions while communicating, focusing only the speaker and demonstrating an understanding of what other person is saying through the body language and by expressing our own concern or appreciation. For example, when a person is saying, when you are just expressing it, when a student is just lies down and shows a different or deviant behavior like this, when you're just taking an important class or important, so when you're just taking a most important concept or most important what we can say a thing in our course, when a student shows a different kind of behavior, shows his facial frowns or shows leaning towards this, and then showing it a different eye contact, the facial language or the body language is entirely interpreted, how you would feel? We'll get irritated, right? So likewise, we have to get corrected. Sometimes we might have some health issues also, but the thing is, but more or less, we have to educate our students how much it can affect, because they have to face the interview. While just before just entering into the cabin itself, the interview, the HR will assess how is he, how is his personality, how he walks, how he sits, what about his eye contact, his listening skills, everything will be assessed there itself. So this active listening is the most important skill, social skill, where this gives a clear picture about ourselves. So it is, we usually shout at our kids also. We are just, what kind of body language that you're showing? அம்மா இப்படி பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன், என்ன எப்படி வச்சிருக்க, கவனிக்கிறியா இல்லையா, இல்ல எங்க பாத்துட்டு இருக்க, என்ன ஆட்டிடியூட் இது. So we are just crossing everything in our day-to-day life. But the thing is, when it comes into a secondary environment, it is entirely different. We think that listening is a small thing, but it is not like that. It is a most precious social skill. So listening and without distracting, without interrupting the speaker, without without interruption, and having a clear focus on the speaker. It's the most important skill, where we'll get everything. The 100%, that is more in listening itself, 98% of the message will be received. And next is a conflict resolution. So conflict resolution, this also we'll do in every day life, where how we are able to solve the problems or solving the conflict resolution. So we can say it is an ability to see a problem and then finding out a workable solution for it. That's it, not more than that. It is not a very big, tedious concept. For example, we can say if there is a misunderstanding between two colleagues, and if they come to you for a help, what you will be doing? So we should focus on the root cause of the issue, and then we have to work to solve this issue rather than getting involved and arguing on this problem. Is it true or not? This is how the best problem solving skill we can say. Only the few peoples will be have a master in it. So they'll see that just the root cause of the issue, and then they will work on it and they will solve the issue of it. So the people with good conflict resolution skill often excel in positions, we can say, as a human resources, and then a person who is in a managerial level or a counselor. We can see in a management representatives. So we can see this kind of caliber and the skill. So in the person, so in these job roles or in the job profiles that we can see it. Next is empathy. So we'll be discussing also in that. So it is closely connected to observation skills or listening skills. So it is an ability to empathize with the people and situation. For example, putting ourselves in the other shoes. We'll say that putting ourselves in other shoes. For example, if anything happens, we have to think about ourselves, how we'll face the same issue if we are in that situation. It is not about giving a judgment. It is an empathetic feeling. Getting involved in other shoes. So it is an ability to identify and understand how the other person is feeling. And we can say understanding empathy. How we can understand empathy? We can say that I understand what you're going through. So these kind of words. So I can understand what you're just going through. So I'm sorry to hear that you feel in this way. I've hurted you so much, or you have been hurted this much. So I'm sorry that it has happened to you. Or expressing empathy requires a conscious effort and a careful consideration of another's feelings also. So the person who possesses a good empathy skills can result in a better relationships in the workplace, as well as they'll have a successful family life also. Next is cooperation. So this is another essential skill we can say in the workplace. So it is an ability to work well with others on a common goal. So how we are working towards our institution, our vision, mission, how we are going to achieve the targets of the institution, how we are just going to achieve our institution goals, and so on. So this is a social skill which is especially important for those who work on the part of team on projects, we can say, at the workplace. So many people, we all will be engaged in a committees, or we'll be working in the groups, or we'll be working. Man is a social animal, right? We cannot be for ourselves. We have to depend on others for everything, for everything till our life ends. So that cooperation is the most important social skill that we can say. And next is relationship management. So relationship management is an ability to foster, to grow and maintain our relationships. So this social skill is very much important. We can see in where we will exhibit our relationship management in two-toward system. So your students will be very close to you than to the others. So when you conduct the two-toward meetings, when you're mentoring a person who's doing a research, for example, research students, if you're guiding an MPhil or a PhD scholars, and then so when you're just very much important this relationship management, where they will hear everything if it is perfect. So, and we can find other person also where we'll directly work with the students. It is not that only the tutor have to take care of the that student, that batch students. So we have nowadays UGC had said that mentoring. So where you need to have a set of students where you have to mentor them from the day one till they leave your college. So for that, the relationship management is very much essential. So the prominent social skills that these are the prominent social skills, that is interpersonal skills. This is very common, we can say. Example, I've just put it in a single, very normal words only. I've just added in my presentations where sharing, asking for permission, joining an activity, and waiting for your turn. For example, we can say when you just want to go attend an FDP suddenly, so you have to get an asking. You have to ask the permission. So this is a thing that protocol we follow in every institution, and then for joining an activity. So it is a way how we are expressing towards ourselves towards the management and waiting for your turn. Oh, next time it will be next is my turn. Waiting for it, not burning out or getting stressed out. So we have to sharing, asking permission, joining in a polite way, and waiting for your turn. So these are all the few interpersonal skills that I've just added over here, and then problem solving, asking for help, apologizing, nothing wrong. It is nothing wrong in asking. If you just everything, each and everyone's life is in trial and error only. So getting apologizing, it is not a biggest thing where our won't come down and all if you just go and apologize. Let it be your seniors, let it be your juniors. If it is wrong, we have to move on. It is a better social skill that where you can have a better relation, you can attract the people, you can be with the people, and you can get support from others. Apologizing, accepting the consequences, and deciding what to do. So these are all the problem solving skills, we can say. And conflict resolution skills, dealing with the teasing, losing, acquisitions, being left out, peer pressure. Not only that student alone, everyone will be facing this throughout our lifetime, from our family till in our secondary workplace also, a secondary setting which is called as a workplace also. Survival skills, this is very important thing where I've just added over here as a survival skills, because so the listening, I've already discussed about what is listening, following the directions from the management, ignoring the distractions, using a nice and a brave talk, rewarding yourself, how you just perceiving yourself. So these are the most important skills to survive in any organization. Not only education institution, for all the organization where teaching is it is a most important thing, where we have to follow the directions and we have to ignore the distractions. We might have many grapevine communications. We have many. We will be facing distraction. We'll have many people will be pulling us down. We'll be having a negative comments. So all these things we have to distract it. So we have to ignore all those things. And then we have to always use a nice and a brave talk. So if we just start practicing all these things, we'll be the, always the thing is survival of the fittest. So those who follow all these skills will have a better survival in wherever they are. So I've already said that. So here I've just categorized the prominent social skills into 4, where interpersonal skills, problem solving skills, conflict resolution skills, and survival skills. So to move on with the interpersonal skills, the ways to improve the interpersonal skills. So how we can improve our interpersonal skills, that we can say is, we have to always be appreciating. Saying thank you for everything. A person is doing a good thing, we have to start appreciating them. We won't get on something if we just appreciating, or if we are just motivating them. And then paying attention, what is happening. Practice active listening. So listening, it is an easy to say in a word, but it is hard to practice. Not only for you, it is for me also. It is a process of learning where we can learn throughout our lifetime. So we have to practice active listening, and we have to we have to bring the people together, working in team, group dynamics, understanding the people, and then we have to resolve the conflicts. That is very much important. And then communicating as early, whichever is very important, that communication we have to intimate to the management at the earliest, not at the last. So as soon as if this message has to be passed, we might think that this message is not necessary, or this won't have a different impact. For example, I can just say an example which when I was worked in an industry where the tea was not good in the cafeteria, and then drinking water was not good. So they were used to it. So one of the employees, they were said that the people who are not providing a good drinking water and a better tea, how they'll provide a good welfare measures to the employees over here. Organization which is not concerned about these things. So this created an unrest, and it leads to the disputes. We might think these are all the small silly issues, but the thing is, whatever the issues which is happening and the grievance is happening, so we have to communicate it early to your fellow group members, to the department, and to the head of the institution or to the management at the earliest. And then humor. So wherever we are, there should be some forms of humor, right? And then we have to empathize, understanding the others. Make sure that you are always carrying a smile wherever you go. If you are not getting the smile, just give it away. Use this as a principle where you can shine like anything. So smile, carry your smile always. Keep that as a signature. It is not that always smiling. Just whenever you just say, it is a smile salute. It's a giving a respect. It is a one form of respect. But that is also body language is different. Smiling sarcastically is different, and concernedly giving respect with a smile is also different. So see how the body language differs, and how how the people will perceive you if there is a slight modification. And then we should not take the compliance too much. For example, this is happening, this is, we should not be always a complaint box. Whichever the thing, we have to sort it out of our level, and then which is of which is of a grave or all those things, it has to be immediately taken to the management. So that is also, you should not be for small things and all, you should not move on to and complain it at the earliest. So we should not complain too much. That is what I'm just trying to say over here. And this interpersonal skills, these are the components of interpersonal skills, where assertiveness, non-verbal communication, I just given an example of a smile, listening skills, active listening, negotiation. So negotiating with others, it is not fighting. You just clear that our personal things and all should be kept aside. We are just working for the students, where this negotiation should not carry this enmity. Whichever is best for the students, we have to do for them. And then verbal communication, the way, problem solving, the decision making. So these are all the most important components of interpersonal skills. So we can say that, so how effectively we are conveying the information, how accurately we are interpreting the people emotion. Oh, he's not well. So today it is not the right day to go and discuss this matter to our HOD. So today is not the right day. He is not good. So the situation is not better. I'll just discuss with them tomorrow. So accurately interpreting the people's emotions, calmly arriving at resolutions to conflict, and most importantly, avoiding gossips. Being polite, being sensitive to the people's feelings, and effectively conveying the information. So these are the most important key elements in the interpersonal skills. To move on to the problem solving skills, we can say that first, so normally we'll be having our own grievance committee in all the education institutions, where if a student is having a grievance, where we will be also the members of the grievance committee a students welfare committee, and so on. And then for staff welfare also there will be a club. So the committees will be there where if there is any problem arises, we should not identify the person first. Where it should be identify the problem. What is the problem and why it has happened? And then exploring the informations. And then select which would be the proper resolution for us. And then we have to evaluate the results. It may be anything. For example, identifying the problem, gathering the facts, and then generating the options, getting the support from our academic and the administrative heads. We can generate the options, and then we can evaluate, implement, and we can monitor the results. So we'll be always forecasting, right? So we'll be working for the next 5 years, where we have to identify our own gaps. And then we have to find out which are all the pros and the cons, and then which are all the areas where we can get the available resources. And then based on that, we have to work on it so that we can achieve the results. If we are just coming down, we can have a review meeting, and then we can follow out where the problem occurs or where the gap again arises, so that we can evaluate and implement, and we can see our results. So if any problem, so again it is arises, if it is not able to solve it, then just leave it away, walk it away and let it go. And then go to another concentrating on the other activity. And then if it is nothing, if it is wrong in our hand, because everyone is sensitive, right? We can also utter some words. So apologizing, talking out, otherwise ignoring the issue, and then wait it, let the time heals. Likewise, we have to get it out the options. And next, moving on to the conflict management. So conflict management, commonly we can say it as an actions or the responses, or the processes and the systems that helps to prevent, identify, handle and manage the conflicts in a sensible, fair, peaceful and efficient manner. First is finding out the alternatives. In the problem solving itself, we would have gone through the small steps over there. So it is, and management is actions or responses. So that helps to prevent. If it is helps to prevent any conflict, it is a conflict management. And identifying it, it is also conflict management. Handling and managing conflicts, it is not alone once a problem has arrived, solving that thing is a conflict management. Preventing the issues, identifying the issues, handling and managing the conflicts in a fair and peaceful and efficient manner is called as conflict management. So first is alternatives, one is ignore. And next is resolving. And third one is preventing. So this is the three most important steps we can say it in a conflict management, where if it is to be ignored, the small issues means we have to ignore it. Now, if it is to be concentrated, so this is a real issue where we have to sit and discuss, we have to resolve this issue, or a complaint means we have to resolve. And next is based on the previous issues, we'll be forming new committees or new process or procedures, or we'll frame new laws based on the previous incidents. So it is a part and parcel of a conflict management, we can say. So the conflict resolution skills. So these are the most important skills which is needed for the conflict resolution. So creativity, perception skills, negotiation skills, and stress recognition skills, process management skills, communication skills, counseling skills, and analyzing skills. So these are the most important skills which is required in conflict management process. So next, moving on to the survival skills. So I've already said no. So this is the one that I have just added, which is needed for the need of the hour. So we'll see that how the people, we might see that few people they won't survive. They'll be in an institution for 3 months or 6 months or 1 year and so on. So what is meant by survival skills? It means that resilience plus positivity. So resilience is coping with the life difficulties. And then being positive, taking that situation in a positive manner. Taking that situation as an opportunity and working on it, that we call it as survival skills. For this survival skills, we can say that these are the most important key elements which is needed: control, commitment, confidence, and challenge. So, which involve the life control, emotional control, confidence in abilities, interpersonal confidence, learning orientations, risk orientations, achievement orientation, and goal orientations. So these are the most, if all these traits are there in an individual, he will survive wherever he is. He should have a control of himself. For example, emotional control. If he has a better social skills, he'll have automatically he'll be having a very good emotional control. We usually have that now. We'll feel irritated if we see someone, but even though we'll just cross and we'll smile and then we'll go. So it is a form of a social skills, emotional control. A person who doesn't have these kind of balance, they won't survive at any way. Emotional control, it is not happening. It happens in the family setting, it happens in the workplace, it happens everywhere. And then we cannot move. It is not okay. I cannot move. If my wife is like, if my husband is like that, if my kid is like that, can I come out of it? It is very difficult. The same thing in a workplace too. So we should have the control over life and our emotions. And then we should have a confidence in our abilities and interpersonal confidence also. So we should believe the people, and we should engage ourselves. And next is we have to have orientation towards a goal and achievement. So the person who's having resilience and positivity and inner strength and outer orientation. So these are the four important characteristics of the individual who possess a good survival skills. And these are the most important and mandatory too, that too in a situation like in this contemporary scenario. So this is very, very important. So these are the variables that affect the social skills. So any person who's having a deficit in social skill functioning, so they have lack of reinforcement, and they'll be having a lack of practice of feedback. They will be having a lack of knowledge, and they will be having a problem behaviors. So if the problem behaviors interferes, then they won't be able to control their behavior, or they don't have the awareness of their self. Then it leads to the deficit in social skills functioning. And next is lack of cues or opportunities, if we can say. If it is prevents, there is no opportunities. If they are not taking even a challenging situation as an opportunities, and then automatically they'll have a poor social skills. And lack of knowledge, lack of feedback, lack of reinforcement, they have to come back, bounce back and come back. If it is not happening, low frequencies, they don't have the inner power or the inner strength, then definitely automatically leads to deficit in social skills functioning, which in turn leads to the maladjusted behavior of an individual. So in turn, we have just seen about the social skills, all those things and all. So how we can teach the social skills to the students? So here I've just given out, list out a few methods in how we can teach the social skills to our students. So these social skills can be taught to our students by providing a cognitive training. So cognitive training means which is aimed at teaching of self-control and personal behaviors. For example, self-recording, self-evaluation of the behaviors, how they feel about themselves, what about their understanding their personality. So we have to provide, whatever the subject we might teach, for example, maths, economics, commerce, social work, psychology, English, Tamil, or whatever it may be. They have to go and live in a society where it comprises of people. Every people is unique, every individual is unique and complex. So it is hard. It is hard for them. We have to teach them life skills. How to have a self-control, and how to correct their personal behavior, which is right behavior, which is the wrong behavior, which is the wrong according to the society. How we can, if they face any issues or the difficulties over there, how they can go with the coping mechanism, how they can calm down themselves. So we have to teach all those things. That is the purpose of the education. So here, these are the few models. I've just few. These are the few methods that in which we can teach social skill to our students. The one is modeling. So modeling is the demonstration of the social skill either by live models or by a film or an audio tape or a pictorial models. For example, for example, in psychology, this modeling will take place. The students will be demonstrated what kind of personality is. For example, he's a bipolar, or he's an too much of anxiety or a depression. We'll just, for example, we'll just give an example in a film based. We'll just show them. If the person is having a learning disability, for example, we can give an example of a Tarism in film. So likewise, by providing films, audio tapes, or a pictorial model. So these are all the way of educating the social skills by providing models. So next is shaping. Use of a positive reinforcement to promote the use of a social. So if they are doing something wrong, make it them how they can correct themselves. So making them shaping an individual. Oh, this is what your communication skill is, your body language. So first concept, prioritize. First is a study about yourself, evaluate about yourself, and then have a good positive reinforcement. Next is coaching. So this requires a lot of use of verbal cues to improve our target behaviors. And next is reinforcement. I've already said employs a combination of observation and shaping techniques. First, we have to observe, and then we have to understand the individual, and then we have to provide whichever the most social skill, predominant social skills can be employed to them. So we can use that kind of skills in shaping the students. And next is description, where it is an oral technique in which the teacher describes how to perform a skill appropriately, describing the skill. For example, how to present yourself, how to attend an interview, how this skill should be. So describing in an oral form, giving a lecture-based methods, we'll say it as description methods. And rehearsal. Verbal rehearsal of a required skill steps ensure that the individual has memorized the steps in a sequence and can instruct himself in what to do next and structures the practice. For example, we can give an example of swimming. Teaching, describing, taking classes, and then getting out into the field or the water, let them start swimming, or like singing a song. So we can take many examples for examples of a rehearsal. Next is feedback. So verbal feedback following this rehearsal to inform the individual on what steps he had performed well and which behavior needs improvement. For example, this is what we'll also do, right? So whichever the area that we excel, whichever the area, it is not about SWOT analysis. It is called, now it is changed as SWOT analysis. Our strength, our weakness, our opportunities, and our challenges. It is not a threats. It is a challenge for us. So these are all the areas where we are having a huge strength. So these are all the opportunities. If this opportunity is provided, I can excel like anything. And these are all the weaknesses. So these are the weakness areas of improvement. And this is a huge challenge where I need to work on it at the earliest. So which behavior needs improvement? Or challenges, weaknesses. So getting out of feedback. For example, in terms of an education institution, we can say that you might be good at reporting. We might be good at organizing programs, getting funds. So each has an individual skill. So everything has to be mapped. It is not only this skill will survive. It's not like we need all the person. We need A players, we need B players, we need C players, and we need D players. A person who's very good at reporting and documentation, we need him. And we also need a person who gets projects. And we need a person who needs who has a better public relations, and then who performs well and who takes our college image at the outset. So it is not that he's doing his own. We need all the kind of people. That is, we need all the players. And then we have to find out whichever the area. So if they are lacking in this area, we have to work on it. So this is the area that we need improvement, and we have to work on it. So this is how the management also will plan for their succession management also, who will be whichever the area that they are potentially excelling. So this, which is the area that we need to work on, where they need to work on it, and how, where this is a prospect, so that they can concentrate more on it rather spending time on this. After working on, if the time is not able to achieve that heights, means they can concentrate in a different way. So this feedback plays a major important role. And this makes the people also, which creates a which retains the employees inside the organization also. If this all carries out perfectly in any education institutions they are getting, so they will never move away. They feel that very much comfortable. They feel that they are getting recognized. They feel that we feel that, oh, I'm just recognized in my college. So I have what to do. So I'm recognized, I'm getting work. So if I'm just doing wrong also, management is giving an opportunity. So where I can get corrected. It is not taking that thing in a different way. So we have to take everything in a positive way. It is a way of learning. And next is conversation skills, using body basics, for example, greeting, introducing oneself, applying active listening, answering questions appropriately without interrupting, and then asking questions, using goodbye, and good conversing skills. And for example, it is over, so we have to give a thanks, right? If you are given a permission to attend a program or so on thing, we have to give a note of thanks. So we have to learn all those things. It is the most important and essential thing that creates a greater impact among the individuals. Next is friendship skills, making friends, saying thanks, giving compliments, accepting thanks, accepting compliments, joining in a group activities, rendering help. So these are the things where you can have a better group of people, and you can work in a best environment. Your group dynamics will be perfect. If our students, if we are and our students is excelling in all those, these are the most important life skill. We might see that the person who's scoring 98% and then he's getting failed in his life, going for divorce. They can't able to tolerate if they are sent out of their job. You can see many people who are just losing their life just because of the small issues. Where our education goes, where it is going, it is not running. This is the most important fundamental element I just want to emphasize over here. So the life skills, the social skills plays an important role. It is hard to be, for us itself, it is something different. Just thinking about the future generation, how just they are going to be in a society, how they are going to make a family, how they are going to work in an institution. Our students has to be in an institution, they're getting a job in somewhere, a company, at least they should be there for at least a minimum of 5 years, right? They are not able to cope up for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, then what is the purpose of the education then? We are not teaching all those things, right? So this plays a major important role. So where we have to teach our students all these type of activities. Next one is skills for difficult situation. We can call it as also crisis. Accepting and giving criticism, accepting no, following instruction, and responding to teaching. How to handle a crisis. For example, some people, it is how to say elegantly no. So these are all the skills. How to give a constructive criticism. It is not a criticizing the person. It is a criticizing the decision or the behavior of a person. So that we should be very clear. Accepting and giving a constructive criticism, that is very, very important. And accepting no, following the instructions, how to follow, how to respond to teasing in a best manner, in a positive way. So these are all the skills that we have to teach to our students. And problem solving that we have already discussed. So how to negotiate, how to give rationales, persuading skills, problem solving skills, getting help. It is nothing wrong that going in, oh, நான் போய் ஒரு help கேட்கலாமா என்னோட status என்ன if that is a major thing, we have to come out of one. If we can't able to solve the problem, it is nothing wrong in getting help from the others. Getting help from the parents, the first circle, getting help from parents, from the help from the friends or the settings or the neighbors or the relatives. So we're asking for feedback. So these are all the most important thing. So if you want to teach them, that is why the students are going to ending their life, or that moving into the negative coping mechanism like drug abuses and so on. They can't able to solve their problem of their own. So we have to teach them. Life is full of thorns. It won't be always, life is full, it is not a road full of flowers or things. It will be full of thorns, and few places it will be a flowers. So that is what we have to teach the reality to our students. Next is bibliotherapy. So this is one of the teaching technique in which the reading materials are used to help the students to better understand himself and his problems. Saying about now we can say not even going to read a book, and we can ask them to go and see the autobiography of the leaders, how they have solved their issues, the YouTube videos. There are much more things are available. So we can make use of the available literature, the very good literatures, to solve the students' issues, and projective techniques. So this is a projective technique, is a technique which is used to encourage the students to project or express their feelings. If you are just getting an anger, you could have seen that in China and all, they need to pay for in INR we can say it is around 50,000 rupees. They can go to a room, they can completely destroy the room to control their anger. See how it is going on. So likewise, we can use it techniques that is in a better way. How will they, for example, if they're getting anger like anything, how can they express their feeling, their emotions? It is all a practical way of learning. And then we can use a STAR technique. We can give a situational, even if any department has a viva voice. So in that time, we can use this kind of a situation, a task, and a result. How you tackle the situation. Situational analysis. Describing the work experience and how we have overcome the obstacles at the workplace. What was the situation? How was the task? And how was the action? And how was there will be positive and negative. If it is a negative, it is a learning for us. If it is a positive, it is an example for others. That's it. And next is role play. So role playing is I can say it is an interesting technique that we can impart to our students. So we can make the students, or a group of the students, we can ask them to come and join. We can give some characters. You have to play this role, or this is what the situation, how you're just going to let them come out of their own problem solving issues, assuming the role of a character and act out of a brief episode that involves a problem. So we can give a specific problem we can identify, and then we need to describe that problem to the students, and then let them give to the group itself. So let them assign the roles to the various members. The actual role play takes place, and it should be brief. And we have to give time also. How they are able to solve their issues within a group with a short span of time. Sometimes many innovative ideas we can see from the students. And then we can have a discussion with the fellow other students also, focusing the how was their role. We can see the different kinds of perception, how the students perceive this problem, apart from the other members who have just addressed. For example, 6 students have been playing the role play, and 35 students are observing. We'll be having a 35 perception of the particular role which is played. Some people say that, oh, this is not the way, they can handle it in this way. So these are all of the practical or stimulation exercises that we can provide to the students to solve the issues. And next is, so these are the techniques where we can engage our students to make them to understand what are the social skills, how it is important in the classroom itself. And next is to move on with the tips for improving the social skills in the workplace. So prior feedback. So we have already discussed about the feedback. I've just seen that. So this feedback plays always a major role, right? Is it true or not? So this plays based on our appraisal, our increment, and so on, right? So if you're just publishing a paper in a Springer, some colleges will be providing, they will be providing a monetary benefits for the faculty member who have published a paper in a Springer under Nature and so on. So likewise, getting a, so we can ask, so getting an appraisal from an management, and then we can ask our friends and colleagues also. So what are the areas that you need to improve upon, and with relation to the social skills, and using this feedback, so we can set the goals to work, and then towards improving these skills. So this is how we can enrich ourselves, we can refine ourselves, we can provide a better results about ourselves, where our individual success depends upon the institution success. Our individual success depends upon the department success, and the department success in turn contribute towards the institution success. So we should say that everyone is responsible. So we have to take our institution in the further way. So publishing a paper in a Springer and taking an institution, it is a credit to the individual, it is credit to the department, and it is credit to the institution also. So this is how we have to see in a wider way. It is not about that I publish, this is for me. It is not like that. It benefits, it is a, we can say it is an all round, it is a 360-degree growth. So we need to get the feedback. As if apart from the performance appraisal which is conducted by the management, we need to get the appraisal, or we can get the feedback from our colleagues itself. Sometimes we can, we can at the end of the semester also we'll be getting feedback forms from how about the subject, how about the teaching. Even a teacher can have a separate feedback also. Is there any areas of any areas to be improved? So any styles of teaching is needed. So it's a way of refining ourselves. So getting feedback, it is in a different way. It is not about identifying a problem. It is about correcting ourselves. It is about fine-tuning ourselves. It is a way to success. It is a way to the success to the individual, to the department, as well as the institution also. And next is, we can say that picking up a personal development book. So there are many books are available. We can say nowadays it is everything is ebook. Everyone has become a tech savvy. It is hard to read in desktop. So there are much more books are there. We can select a few pages books, so that it will give a precious message to us. For example, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The book by Dal Carnegie is a very famous book, we can say. And then 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then Power of Positivity. So these kind of books and all will give a utmost positivity. It will definitely change. It gives a spark for a change. And then rather than most important thing I just want to emphasize over here is choosing one skill to focus on improving. Rather than identifying interpersonal skills, communication skill, active listening skills, survival skills. So it is easy to say one skill, but one skill is associated with many other skills. So we can take one single skill and we can start focusing on improving on it, so that the results will be better. The yields will be better. So rather than trying to improve several social skills at once, so we can pick one and work on it. And when we are confident in our ability to effectively use that social skill, then we can start with taking another social skill, and we can start improving on it. So this is a way that we can implement or the practice the social skill in our lifetime. So I've just given some examples of how we can improve the social skills. For example, in empathy. So I've already said now, getting ourselves in others' shoes, understanding others, communications, building networking, being humble, observing from others' perspective. So for me, this is a small issue. For this and all, they are going for a suicide or they are taking this kind of life-threatening decisions and all. It is not like that. For us, it is simple. For them, it is very difficult. It is easy to comment, but it is very hard to face it. So we have to observe from others' perspective, listening, monitoring our attitude, being polite, thinking out of the box. So that is also very much important. And then proper body language. So I've already said the body language plays most important role where our body has to speak. Body will speak before we utter a word. How we are alight. It is not just holding our hands like this and also. It is just being having a good eye contact and giving a small smile salute itself. It is a way of being polite. Growing our awareness, giving a second thought, and then sharpening our eyes, knowledge, making the eye contact, smiling, relaxing, and talking less. That is the most important. So we should know where to talk, how to talk, and what to talk. So that is most important. We should not even utter an extra word. That leads to issues. And being cooperative. So it is not about getting. If anyone need help, you can offer them first. By knowing others' strength, developing a team, collaborating, showing respect, avoiding fault finding, building a relationship, celebrating success, always being positive. So these are all the parameters of being cooperative to others and adaptive thinking. So in survival skills, I've already said taking risk, practicing improvisation, focusing on the final outcome, encouraging the change, meditating, accepting the change perspective, staying cool, predicting the future, asking the feedback, and then ensuring a backup plan. If it is not happening, plan A is not working out, then what is the plan B? We have to prioritize. Oh, this is not working, so it is not getting fed up on that. So we have to be mentally prepared for other things which is going to happen. If we are used to it, means we can easily understand the environment, what is going on, how it is going on. So it is easy to do on all those things. And research on changing trends, how it is happening in the other institutions. What about, because nowadays we say the NIRF is coming, NAC is coming, and then IIS Institution Innovation Council. So everything gives ranking. So we need to get ready to run. So how the trends are changing. So we have to be ready for all these changes. And so these are the few parameters that I have listed over here. And next is comparison of social skill consequences. A person with a poor social skills will be having the higher risk of developing patterns of aggressive behavior. We'll think now, oh, I can't go and talk with that person. I cannot go and discuss with that person. We can say that the person who's having a poor social skills, that's all. And this is the thing. If we are not correcting ourselves, if we are not correcting our students also, there is a higher risk of developing the patterns of those aggressive behavior. Shouting out of others, getting into anxiety, getting into psychological issues, problems, and so on. And then experiencing the higher rates of emotional and behavioral problems. So they'll in future also they'll be ready. They won't be, we'll say that health is a complex substance, right? It is not only about a physical structure. It is a combination of everything. It is about emotional well-being. It is about a societal well-being. It is a complex factor. So the person who possesses a good social skill will be better accepted by their peers. and they'll be having a better coping and attention skills. For example, if they face any issues, so they are coming down, they can go and spend the people will, I can give some examples of a better coping skill. Some people will be having a meditation, they'll be playing with their kid, they'll just take off a break and they'll go for an outing with their family. So negative coping skills, smoking, drinking, all those things are negative coping skills. So the people who are having a good social skills, they will be having a better coping mechanism, and they'll having a better retention skills, and they'll be having a better social adjustment, and they'll be having leading a successful life. So this is what the importance of social skills that I can say. So altogether, I can say the whole elephant can balance if it knows where is a place it can balance the entire life, it can easily balance. So this balance is the key to life. I can say the social skills is the most important balance and the success for one's life. So this is the most important key for the success of one's life. Thank you all for providing this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving us a broad ideas, views, and sharing your experience freely, ma'am. It's a great presentation. Hope highly useful for all our faculty members. Thank you, ma'am. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. I would like to welcome Mr. R. Nallappan, Assistant Professor, Department of Social Work, to deliver vote of thanks.
A very good morning to all. It's given me an immense pleasure to all the dignitaries assembled to honor this function with this inspirational thoughts. I would like to thank our beloved principal, staff members, and participants from our college and other various colleges. Last but not least, our beloved audience for making this function as grand a success. Once again, I thank all present here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I thank the management for providing a wonderful opportunity to interact with all the faculty members. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Principal, sir.